Gavin, thank you as always for your time. I suppose similarities to the Bath win in September. Lots of square pegs and round holes, and we've ground out not only a win but a clean sheet. You must be delighted.
Football never ceases to amaze me, really, because our preparation for this game was less than ideal. Let's be honest about it. We already had Zav out, and then to lose Adam literally at about 2 o'clock was very, very difficult to do. So it's a completely makeshift back three, and we've gone out and they defended their box very, very well today. You've got to look at it. If you look at it from that point of view, it's a fantastic result for us because we were massively up against it.
Was that extra motivation for the lads today?
Well, no, I don't know. Sometimes you can't get inside their heads, but I do look at it and I think to myself, well, and I said to him beforehand that, we can't, there's no excuses here. We're not looking for excuses. That we've lost Dan and we've lost Zav. Okay, would we rather have them? Of course we would. But, you're talking about Payne, you're talking about John Anuga. Yeah, it's square pegs in round holes to an extent, but they're experienced players, good players, who are very, very capable of going in there and doing a job. Okay, for a prolonged period of time, maybe not. But on any given day. So I said to the boys, this is not we cannot have an excuse today based upon what's happened with our back three and certainly with Adam shortly before kick-off. No way. If the game panned out that we got beat, then so be it, and we would lick our wounds and go again. But I wasn't going to accept that those are the reasons. We're good enough. We've got good enough players in this squad to be able to fill in, and that's what they've done today.
There's another penalty from which we took the lead, but were you pleased with our play overall going forward?
Yeah, look, I think we could have been out of sight half time, in some respects. I'm not saying it was masses of chance, but we've had some really good chances in that first half. We haven't taken them. So from that point of view, it's, we've got a broken record. And the second half was, it's probably one of the worst halves I've seen in a long, long time, and I think the pitch dictates that in some respects, but that's not detracting from the hard work that people put into this. I realise that they are superb at what they do and dedicated at what they do, but I think the weather this week was always going to be probably against us a little bit. So we could have been a little bit more comfortable, but we weren't, and that's probably typical of us in some respects. So we're having to see games out with a clean sheet to be able to get the points. We've done that today, but realistically, is that going to happen for us week after week? No, we've got to change the narrative really and try and actually help those boys at the back and put the ball in the net.
Painful as the last week was, obviously taking 2 points when a lot of people would have hoped for 4 or even 6. We are unbeaten here all season. We're unbeaten in our last 3. Are they shoots for progress, do you feel?
I've just mentioned it in there with the boys. It's immaterial in some respects because I can't change the points that we've got. But the facts are, we should have comfortably won the last 3 games. We should have 9 points out of the last 3 games. That's my opinion, and that's what I think I see. But the facts are the facts, and we haven't got those points. But that tells me that in most areas we're not far off. That's what it tells me. And what it means is that we've got to try and put it right and quickly in certain areas that we need to enhance.
Do you hope it points to a foundation for something stronger, obviously, towards the business end of the season?
Of course. Well, that's what we need. We have to have that. That's what we need now. We have to have a run of form. And some people will say, okay, the last 3 we could have had 9 points. That's a run of form. But realistically, we're gonna have to keep chalking the points off because that's what we're going to need to get ourselves out of this.
Just a word on Charlie Stallard, who I don't think too many fans would have been familiar with prior to kick-off, who was thrust into the team. Can we have a little bit of information about him, and also how did you rate his performance today?
Well, firstly, I think from the pure fact that he's been given a starting role in the team at about 2:15 when he was already told that he was on the bench. And the fact that we've not seen him before from a supporter's point of view, and he's gone into a side that he's actually not played with in anger, but actually Charlie's been with us, really training with us for a couple of months, and dual registered out. He's someone that's been at Watford and been at Cambridge United, so he's got a bit of pedigree. But I've been telling Charlie now for a while to keep playing his football, and when the time's right, he'll come in. The time was right today, but also probably what he didn't expect was to be starting the game when he turned up. So I thought his performance was competent. You know, he slotted in there. You know, there was some good bits and pieces, but you've got to take into consideration that the lad hasn't experienced step two, I don't think, before, and hasn't played with the side in respect of playing a game. So you know, he's had to come in and cope with all that. So from that as a minimum standard, I'm really pleased with him.
The gap to Welling is now 7 points in the game in hand. We play them as well as Aveley in the next two. Surely it puts where we are and certainly our targets into very sharp focus.
Yeah, it was always our targets, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not saying that it's Welling. Welling might have a run of form and someone else might drop in, but effectively, you know, we from our point of view have just got to keep chalking off the points. You know, Aveley's going to be tough game. You know, there's no easy games at this level, and if we take people's league position as a marker for how easy or not the games may be, then we'll be foolish. In the same way that if people take a marker on our league position and come in here and think, you know, it's going to be a rollover, well, I think we're a different entity now. I do. But we've got to score more goals, and that's the long and short of it.
And finally, just a word on the supporters today. I know they were singing your name at the end.
Which, yeah, to be fair, yeah, it was, well, that in itself is unbelievable. You know, I did make reference to the fact that we need them. I made reference to programme notes and on various interviews, and I thought they were absolutely magnificent today. You know, some heart in mouth moments, you know, with throws going in the box, lots of them. I think we defended about 4 or 5 in the last couple of minutes. But they were behind us. You know, there's no negativity, and I want our boys to be able to fuel the support in the way that the support fuels us. It's massive for us. It's massive, and especially here. So, you know, I can't ask for any more. You know, personally, I can't ask for any more, and from a team perspective and management perspective, we can't ask for any more. They're doing a hell of a job this season, and you know, I will try my damnedest to get ourselves out of this. That's for sure.
Cheers, Gavin. See you soon.